Lord's Path to Planar Conquest Chapter 12, The Lifting of the Plane Crisis. From the outside, the Huangangyu giant spirit looks like an elemental creature. If he didn't breathe and stood still, some people might think he was a giant statue made of topaz. However, in fact, he is a flesh and blood creature, and his topaz-like body is produced by mutation. With the Huangangyu giant spirit, Satta is finally no longer afraid of the threat of other sub-lords. Some time ago, these sub-lords were like the sword of Damocles, hanging over their heads, and the opening time of the plane channel was like a countdown to his life. Some people may ask, why didn't Satra leave directly? Isn't that already at the plane of the sky? Isn't it bad to just give up the wilderness plane? Indeed, this is indeed a way. But that was before the Sattas didn't use the wilderness to become a Void Lord. When Satta becomes the Void Lord in the wilderness plane, this plane is equivalent to becoming his main plane. Satra can't just give up here unless he dies. Otherwise, once he gives up or loses the wilderness plane, it is tantamount to violating the contract signed with the will of the Void. Not only will he be stripped of the title of Void Lord, but he will also lose all Void Lord privileges. Even if he sacrificed the plane of the sky to the Void and mastered this plane. However, it is still dominated by the wilderness plane. If the wilderness is lost, Satta is no longer a Void Lord, although he can hide here. But his strength will never be able to advance, and the Void Lord who has lost the main plane is a waste in the eyes of the Void Will. These lords will always remain one rank, which is the Void Will's penalty. If Satta is still the Lord of the Wilderness. As a subsidiary plane, the Kang Sun plane will be pulled by the Void to the location of the wilderness plane, and finally attached to the wilderness plane. The plane origin of the Blue Sun plane will also promote the evolution of the wilderness plane. The law that the secondary plane cannot move is not a problem in the eyes of the Void Will. Therefore, as long as those high-level Void Lords, their planes must be located in a huge group of planes. Of course, there is another way to promote the evolution of the plane is to use the huge source of the plane to make the plane evolve. This method is the most common, because not all Void Lords have the strength or luck to take over the entire plane. Many weak Void Lords rely on being hired to get some plane origins for compensation. Accumulate slowly to evolve your own plane. Not to mention this, it is estimated that it will take at least a year for the Kangri plane to move to Satra. Judging from the current coordinates of the two planes, the distance between the two planes is very far. 1 year can be said to be very fast, and the power of the Void can also be seen here. Satra rested for one night, and the next day, he began to open the plane channel. Plane channel, this exists in every plane. If the plane is regarded as a creature, the plane channel is the breathing organ of the creature. If it stays closed, the plane will wither. Satra knew that there should be many Void Lords staring at him outside now. But the current Satta is not afraid of these sub-lords. The plane passage is just behind the Lord's Hall, not far from where Lissit placed his troops' lair. This is also normal. Generally, the Lord Hall will be built in the most important place on the plane. The shape of the plane channel is a huge hole that emits a strange light, and when you walk in, there is a long channel connecting the outside world. It is not easy to find a plane channel outside the plane, and you have to constantly perceive the weakest part of the plane space in the plane gap. That place is generally the plane channel. Don't think that the weakest part of the plane is easy to break through. Generally, the Void Lords invade the plane, and after finding the place of the plane passage, they will first find a way to send some of their forces to enter. Let this force find the host, then infect and finally control the host, and let the infected host establish coordinates in it. And build a Void altar and call the Void Lords to come. However, the current wilderness plane is also the territory of the Void Lord, so this move is useless at all. Coupled with the forcible closure of the plane channel, it is difficult to break through directly from the outside first. There are not many Void Lords who have the strength to forcibly break through the barrier of the plane, but how could a Lord of such strength look at such a secondary plane? Therefore, the Lord staring at the wilderness plane can only be stationed in the cracks of the plane, waiting for the passage to open. Then everyone joined forces to attack the plane. Although the outside is called the plane gap, it is relative to the size of the plane, and the actual plane gap is very wide. And the powerful monsters in the gaps between the various planes of the Void plane have been cleaned up. Even outside the Void plane, the plane turbulence that often occurs in the plane gaps is very rare here. So they can rest assured in the cracks of the plane. If this is in other planes, let alone stationed, it will be frightening to stay for a while. As soon as the plane channel was opened, the Void Lords outside immediately sensed it. After all, these lords were at least level 4. Everyone quickly gathered outside the plane passage. A Void Lord with wings on his back and a horse head body laughed happily. He's Mama, I made me wait for so long. Everyone is ready to do it. Don't asterisk any of you with me. I'll tear up Demon and eat it alive later. As he spoke, he wiped his mouth full of fangs. From the look of him, you can tell that he is not joking, he really intends to eat Demon. Of course, why do you say Demon? Obviously, these lords don't know that Demon is dead, and many of them know about the existence of Satta. I don't think that Satra, who only has a first level strength, can resist Demon's capture. Everyone was about to start together when suddenly the space twisted and Satra appeared in front of everyone. Ha ha ha. Demon, you are finally willing to come out. Your troops are all dead, so stop resisting. Obediently suffer. Everyone, don't hide it, hurry up and conquer the wilderness plane. Having said that, those Void Lords held various weapons and led their soldiers to charge towards Satta. But before they rushed in front of Satra, the space was distorted again. Fenrir appeared behind Satra with the wild *** wolves, and then the huge body of Huangangyu giant spirit also appeared. Of course, that group of first-level arms Satra did not bring out, mainly to survive in the cracks of the plane, and the minimum strength should reach the third level. The majestic momentum of Huang Gangyu's 6th level arms caused the Void Lords who were shouting and charging all the way to stagnate in an instant. Some of the people in the back could not stop and directly collided with the people in front. For a time, all kinds of strange troops and Void Lords of different appearances collided. The scene was very chaotic. These murderous Void Lords were frightened by the giant spirits in front of them. Satra was very satisfied with such a scene. The highest strength of the people in front of them is only a 5th level lord, and that person is the one who just shouted to eat demon. In addition, there is a 5th level unit, ferocious demon hunting spider. This Lord Satra knew, and Damon went out with him at the beginning. Judging from the current situation, it is very likely that Demon's death has something to do with him. Of course, Satra has no idea of revenge for Desmond, although Satra and Desmond are father and son. But Damon just regarded Satra as a prop for resurrection. Satra knew this for a long time, and he wanted to kill him for a long time. Satra brought the giant Huang Gangyu to his eyes. Isn't this Lord Most? Why did you bring so many people to my place today? Are you going to be a guest here? I can't afford to invite so many people. Most, who was still arrogant just now, looked at the 6th level troops behind Satra. His face quickly changed to a pleasing smile. Lord, Demon, you are joking. How dare we bother you to treat us? Didn't I see that you were injured last time? Let's condolences and see if you need any help. The group of lords behind also quickly put on smiling faces and kept saying yes. Ha ha, Most, you can see clearly, I'm not Demon. That guy tried to take me away, but unfortunately he didn't succeed. The one who died long ago can't die. The current master of the wild plane is my Satra. I see, Lord Satra, I have long disliked that *** demon. This guy has always used you as a prop for resurrection. So in order to save you, I lied to him to invade the plane with us, and wanted to take the opportunity to kill him. I didn't expect this cunning guy to run away. But luckily you're all right. That way we can rest assured. These words were filled with snot and tears, making his horse face look extremely disgusting. It has to be said that as a Void Lord, Most has brought shamelessness to the extreme. But it's okay to fool those who are not deeply involved in the world with such words. How could a Void Lord like Satra not be an old trickster? How could he be deceived by his acting skills? Satra's words changed instantly. Oh, Most, do you think I'm stupid? Don't dare, I'm stupid. Okay, Most, everyone understands, I don't have time to play with you. Since you are going to attack my wilderness, you must prepare for death. As soon as these words came out, the originally noisy scene instantly fell silent. It was Most who spoke first to break the silence. Lord Satra, are you sure you want to kill it quickly? Although you have a giant arm of level 6, we have so many lords and troops, and it is not easy to deal with them. Hearing this, Satra couldn't help laughing and said, Most, you don't need to brag. You should know the strength of the 6th level arms. You people are just a 5th level plus a 5th level arm. What to fight with me? After finishing speaking, he waved to the giant spirit. The order said, kill me. The giant roared when he heard the order. A punch hit Moster. When Most saw something was wrong, he ran back immediately. The lords next to him ran a step slower and were directly smashed into flesh. Some troops that lost their lords lost control in an instant, and started to slaughter indiscriminately. There were also several 3rd level trolls who had lost their masters and were convinced by the aura of the Huang Gangyu giant spirit, and surrendered directly to Satra. Satra was also very happy to accept them and signed a military contract directly. This is how the arms are. Once they lose their masters, the arms contracts will dissipate. They may lose control because of this, and some will surrender to a stronger life. Some of them will become wandering troops, wandering around. If these troops are near the nest where they were born, they will instinctively gather in the nest and guard the nest. Not to mention these lords were frightened by the giant spirits and ran around, and if they ran a little slower, they would be directly killed by the giant spirits. So many lords began to stumble upon each other, wanting others to be scapegoats. I have to say, if these lords really make concerted efforts to fight against Satra, even if the Satra has the existence of a giant spirit, it is not easy to deal with. After all, there is only one Huang Gangyu giant spirit, and there are 14 lords gathered this time, plus each of them has a different number of troops, both 3rd level and 4th level. In total, there are more than 100 3rd level arms, 6 4th level arms, and a 5th level violent demon hunter spider. On Satra's side, there are only less than 60 3rd level wild ** wolves, plus the 4th level hero, Fenrir, and the 5th level strength Satra himself. Although Most and the others can't deal with the Huang Gangyu giant spirit, they can still escape. It will never be like this, completely defeated and scattered to escape. Satra asked Fenrir to lead the wolves to pursue and intercept the fleeing Void Lords. reading www.ukanshu.com. With the blessing of Fenrir's talent, the wolf pack's combat effectiveness instantly rose to a new level. Many Void Lords were killed directly, and some Satyrs who ran away did not chase after them, mainly because these people couldn't make any waves. But there was one person Satra didn't want to let go of, and that was Most. Satra didn't want to kill him. He could actually use up all the resources that Demon had deceived to accumulate troops to plunder the plane together, and finally killed others, although Satra killed his soul in the end. You must know that Demon has been a Void Lord for thousands of years. Although his strength is only level 4, he definitely belongs to the kind of old trickster. This Most is indeed capable, cruel and cunning. It can be said that it is the most typical image of the Void Lord in the impression of other planes. If you can recruit him, you can definitely greatly improve your strength. Anyway, there are many ways to control people in the Void plane. Finally, under the order of Sartre, the giant Huang Gangyu went straight to catch up with Most and grabbed him like a chicken. Several soldiers next to Most tried to stop the giant spirit, but they were slapped to death. All the gathered lords died, fled, and one caught Most. Since then, this crisis that once made Sartre feel the breath of death has officially been eliminated. Sartre's heart finally calmed down. In the past, when Sartre had no strength, as long as he thinks that his plane may be invaded at any time, he may die at any time. The spirit is in a tense state, and I dare not rest for a moment. Every moment I am thinking about how to strengthen my strength. Now, finally, everything is over. With his current strength, no one will come to trouble him for the time being.